everybody, it's Sharon, and I have gotten several requests for this tutorial on what colors to mix when you're painting your Reborn using Genesis Heat Set paints. So I decided to lay everything out here. This is the best lighting that I have in the office right now. So you start by buying your paints, and the colors that I use, I'm going to go through each one and the order that I use them in. And I mix my colors in a little glass Pyrex dish. I take my paints out with a craft stick. I brush the colors on with either this kind of a brush or a 1/2 inch mop brush, and then I pounce the color in with the cosmetic wedge. That's how I do it. I use Mona Lisa odorless thinner, and I use this kind of a bottle, squeeze bottle, to put it in there. I use about 1/4 inch. And sometimes I will add some thinning medium to start to get the paint to really stick to the vinyl. And here you go. These are the flesh colors that you start with. Flesh 08, Flesh 07, which is a little deeper. Yellow ochre and raw sienna will give your baby more of a golden color and even a little bit of yellow. The next step would be, before you bake it, take a look and see if you want your baby to be more purple pink. You use lip nail blush. Here is warm blush, which will give your baby more of a brick color. This is the red that I use. It's just a real fire engine red. And then this is the purple that I use, Dioxazine Purple 04. You can add any one of those colors to the batch to deepen the color of your baby, depending on if you want a golden tan color or if you want a newborn pinkish purple color. Those are the colors that I recommend. You don't have to bake each layer. You can put up to 3 layers on the baby before you bake it. So if you need to correct your color, if the baby looks too orange or too pink or too red, these are the corrections that I use. Earth Mint, which looks like that, and Phthalo Green 06 I mix with it sometimes, which is a little bit greener, and that will correct a baby that's too orange or too red. Go on the internet and look at the color wheel and look at the opposite color on the wheel, and that will tell you how to correct your baby. And then after you get the color that you want on your baby and you do your creases, whatever color you like, these are the, and you're blushing your knees, your elbows. I will use, what happened to my mop brush? Here it is. To blush the elbows and the knees, I use that, and the hands and the feet. And then to do the creases, I use one of these brushes. And then to do the mottling layer, which is after those steps, bake the baby, and then take your cosmetic wedge, pluck holes out of it, take the corners away with the tweezers, and when you decide what color blush you want your baby to look like, you will brush your mop brush across the holes and apply it like this, kind of rolling it on the vinyl to get the mottling. And then after you finish the blushing, creases, and then you do your mottling, bake your baby, and then do your veins. Veins are tricky. Don't do straight lines. Do squiggly lines connected like the branches of a tree. Use very light blue because blue really sticks to the vinyl, and pounce it in and start light and go dark. And you don't have to just use blue. You can mix the green, and you can even mix the purple depending on what you want your veins to look like. And then after you do your veins, I would bake again. Okay, and these are the colors. You can also deepen your color of your flesh by using brow brown. If the baby looks too pale, you can mix your initial colors. You can mix a little bit of brow brown if you want a deeper color. And this will actually make very light colored hair. So If you want a blonde, you use the brow brown, and you can mix a little bit of yellow ochre with it to make blonde hair. To make dark brown hair, I use ethnic brow, many layers to get it dark, or Mars black. And after you paint your eyebrows and this is the brush I use for painting eyebrows. It's a very thin script liner, and to paint my hair I use this brush so that I can get a lot of movement with it. And then if you want to use some thick medium for your hair and your brows to make the hair look thicker, you can add a little bit of thick medium to the mix. And then the final step would be your nail tip. And this is what the nail tip looks like. And you need so little that I end up mixing my paint in the lid, because you only need a drop of the thinner. And you need this to be pretty thick. So I use my cap. I know you're not really supposed to do that, but that's how I mix my nail tip. And I will use this thin brush to do the nail tips. And finally, matte varnish. Sometimes I will mix the matte varnish because it's very thick with thinning medium. And if it's still a little thick, I'll use a little bit of the odorless thinner, but you don't want it to be too thin. And how I apply it is I take my cosmetic wedge and I rip the top off to give it a little texture. And I take my Genesis matte varnish and the thinning medium, and I brush it onto the cosmetic wedge that has been ripped off for texture. And I will start with very small sections at a time, like do an arm, a hand, a leg, a foot, and then do the head, small sections at a time. And you must, at this point, you have to bake your baby twice. Yeah, the matte varnish requires two bakings. And this product right here, the air dry gloss, is very hard to find. And I don't know why, but Bountiful Baby doesn't carry it anymore. I don't know why. Some other people do, and it's the only thing that I like to gloss the nails, the lips, the eye corners, and the insides of the nostrils. So good luck trying to find this product, but it is really fantastic. You can get it on eBay sometimes, and you might even get it sometimes from Genesis website, but this is what I use and what I like. So I hope this has been helpful to some of you, and I am always here for questions. I like to teach. I like to answer your questions. I hope this has helped someone, and if so, give it a thumbs up, share it, like it, and subscribe for more tutorials to come. All right, thank you guys. Love you. Have a great day. Bye.